Hey y'all. So I had about an hour and a half to myself today and the fishing's horrible. We've had like 100 millimeters of rain in the past 24 hours and everything is flooded, water is moving quick, and it is the color of chocolate milk. So I thought, what better excuse than to come to the range? And today I have a fantastic surprise for you guys. I got an awesome thing in the mail. Look at this. That right there is your standard FBI Ballistics gel test block. 100% the real, genuine article. This is what the FBI used to test the ballistics and the deadly penetrating powers and all that fun stuff of different rounds of ammunition. And today, we're gonna shoot it. We're gonna be shooting this block with this. My Kel-Tec Sub 2000 9mm pistol caliber carbine. Okay, semi-automatic, direct blowback, takes Glock magazines, Glock 17 or the fun sticks, whatever you got. Okay, we're gonna be shooting this at the designated distance away, and we're gonna see exactly what 3 different types of 9mm ammunition being shot out of an 18.5-inch barrel will do for penetrating and stopping power. So, let me drag a table out into the range, and I'll see you in a second. So we're going to be using 3 different types of ammunition for this test. We're going to start off with Blazer Brass 9mm Luger 115 grain full metal jacket. The next one we'll move to is this one over here, USA Forged 9mm 115 grain full metal jacket, steel cased ammunition. The third we're going to be using is Winchester 147 grain SXT. Okay, this right here is law enforcement ammunition. It's got the fragmenting tip. So, the FBI testing guidelines state that for pistol caliber ballistics testing, you need their standard ballistic testing block, which we have set up just right over here to my side. I'll show you in a sec. The shot must be taken at 10 feet from the target. Now this is going to replicate a bare flesh shot. Okay, so this is no clothing, no barriers between you and the bullet. This is just, you're sitting there in your skivvies and someone busts in the door and shoots you. This is going to show how far that bullet will actually penetrate and whether or not it's going to be a deadly shot or not. I'm pretty sure we all know it's going to be a deadly shot, since 9mm is one of the most common sidearm calibers in the world for personal defense, law enforcement, all that fun stuff. But we're going to see exactly what happens. Not to mention, I think things are going to change a little bit more shooting it out of a pistol caliber carbine, because with a pistol caliber carbine, I'm going to have at least 14 more inches, well, 14 to 12 more inches of barrel for that bullet to pick up velocity as it's going. So I think it's going to penetrate a heck of a lot farther than what your standard pistol will do. You guys are ready? Let's do this. So I measured out my 10 feet. As long as my barrel does not cross a line I have put into the gravel right here, we are perfect. First up, it's going to be the Winchester steel cased 115 grain ammunition. I'm going to be putting this round right into the top. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Let's see what we got. Oh. It's one of those things about being a new YouTuber, is that sometimes you're not used to all this camera equipment. And of course I forgot to start my GoPro for that shot. But you're gonna see the other 2 rounds go, and it is gonna be awesome. We're set up here again. The next shot is gonna be with the Blazer Brass 115 grain. So it's the same size bullet as the last one. It's just a bit of a better quality round. It's got a brass case, and well, it's a little bit more expensive. So let's see what kind of damage this one does. This one here, I'm going high again as well. All right, y'all. The last one we're gonna try is the 147 grain Winchester SXT Law Enforcement. All right, this one here, it's a much bigger bullet, and again, traveling out of a longer barrel, I think we're gonna see some pretty cool stuff out of this. The only difference with this though is it's supposed to be an expanding bullet, right? Law enforcement use it so that it doesn't pass through and cause casualty damage on the other side of whatever they're shooting, right? So I'm gonna see how this tip actually expands, and when we get back to the house, we're gonna be able to cut open this ballistics block and see exactly what the bullets actually look like afterwards. You guys ready? Bottom of the block. And alright guys, so as you can see, you have 3 pathways through the ballistics gel. And wouldn't you know it, I think all 3 rounds actually went all the way through this FBI testing block. Huh. Wonder how far away we actually have to be for the rounds to stick in the block so we can see what happens. Let's do a little experiment, shall we? So what we've done is we've actually moved our ballistic block, right there. We moved it back to 25 feet from where we're gonna be shooting. So we're gonna use the exact same 3 rounds of ammunition. We're gonna see if 25 feet versus 10 is gonna make any more difference. Sure hope so. I want to be able to recover one of these bullets. Okay guys, 25 feet. This time, I'm not gonna stop in between shots. I'm just gonna load up one after the other, send them down range, and then we're gonna go and see what kind of damage we did. First up, USA Forge, steel case 115. Pretty sure I saw something hit the berm in the back of the pit there, but we'll see. Next up, Blazer Brass, 115. Woo. And last but not least, the Winchester 147 SXT. Let's go check our block this time. All right, let's go check our block this time around. Dun, 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 dun. And, oh, we got one! Right there! There's something stuck in there. I bet you, there's a bit of a better view of it right there. I bet you that's our 147 grain SXT. No! But that's the only one in there. So, I wonder how far we have to be for this ballistics block to actually stop the 115 grain full metal jackets coming out of the Kel-Tec. Let's move it back all the way to the end of the berm here. What do you say? So, we have moved our block all the way to the berm. We are about, oh, I'd say about 30 yards to the shack. I'll turn you around. This is our block setup. All the way down there is our shack. So we're gonna try shooting those full metal jackets from distance. GoPro. Yep, it turned on. So I really hope that it catches these full metal jackets here, but we'll see. Okay, so just kind of hit me. The other problem we might have at this distance is that I'm shooting with iron plastic peep sights off the Kel-Tec. So I'm really hoping I can hit this block with all 3 rounds, but we'll see what happens. We're gonna fire all out of the same magazine this time. I'm sick and tired of switching out magazines. So on top we got the Winchester, then the Blazer, and then the Winchester SXT. I definitely saw him hit some berm. Let's go check it out. Here we are. And from the looks of things, I don't think we have any new projectiles. Let's give her a turn. Oh, come on, you jelly block. Nope, there's some pieces lodged down in there, but everything passed straight through. I guess those full metal jackets are just moving too quick out of this barrel. And I didn't bring my 9mm pistol. You know what I did bring though? My .22 caliber pistol. Let's see if it stops this at an actual decent distance. So this time around we're actually going to be using a pistol for this pistol FBI block test. I've marked out my 10 feet from right here to there. We're going to be shooting my Swiss Arms SA-22 pistol, semi-automatic. What we're going to be shooting is the CCI Varmint 36 grain copper plated hollow points. Okay, these things got some zing to them, so we'll see how that goes. Whoa! I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it trapped a whole bunch of them. Woo! So there it is. We know that this gelatin block will definitely stop .22 caliber CCI mini mags at 10 feet. But where does that leave us? Well, we're gonna pack up here, we're gonna go back to the house, we're gonna do up the math, and we are going to see if any of these 22s would have killed you, or if that one actual 9mm that we caught would have penetrated enough to actually harm you as well. That one was shot at 25 feet. So I will see you guys back at the house. Alrighty, y'all. So we're back at the house. We have our Ballistics gel block. Isn't she pretty? We got ourselves a measuring tape. Ooh. And of course, for afterwards, we got ourselves a knife to be cutting these bullets out of this ballistics gel. So, when the FBI actually does these testings on this exact ballistics gel block, they have very specific set of rules that they follow that shows you what the penetration value and all that is on these bullets. So, let's roll through some of that just so everyone gets an idea of what these regulations and rules are. Penetrations that are 14 to 16 inches into your standard gelatin block are rewarded, whereas if you are less than 14 or over 18 are penalized. Okay, so our only 9mm bullet that we stopped is wedged right here. I don't know if you guys will actually be able to see, but the block is actually, sorry about that, but it's actually split open there overnight from where the bullet is. Sit on back down there. Now that was actually taken at a distance of approximately 25 feet. So if you were to take that out, that would still over-penetrate out of that rifle. But what about, so that actually penetrated exactly 14 inches. So roughly saying at your 10-foot mark, that bullet there would have penetrated approximately 28 to 30 inches. So it would have passed clean through whatever you were shooting at and possibly have hit something on the backside. Now the interesting part here is going to be these little 22s that are speckled all the way around here. So from this end, our furthest penetration is that guy right here, and that is because he followed a 9mm path. So he came in at 13 inches on the nose. So the one that penetrated the least is this guy right here, who only penetrated about 9.5 inches. So basically what all this means is that all 3 types of ammunition that we tested out of the Kel-Tec Sub 2000 would over-penetrate as per the FBI Ballistics Gel self-defense tests. Now, that is an 18.5 inch barrel versus your standard 4 to 5 inch barrel out of a pistol, so those rounds are going to be moving a heck of a lot faster, right? But when you actually look at the 22 out of an actual pistol, because we had the 22 there and we wanted some fun, all of them, including the one that penetrated the furthest because it actually got into a pre-shot well out of one of the 9mm, it's still under-penetrated. It came in at 13 inches, so a full inch short of what the FBI would consider as adequate penetration. Right in that sweet spot, 14 to 16 inches. So basically, 22 is not all that great for self-defense, but I mean, if I got shot 10 times by a 22, I'm pretty sure I would not be too concerned with attacking you anymore. So there's the science. Let's get to cutting, because I want to see what some of these bullets look like when we cut them out. Behold, my collection of bullets. These are all arranged in exactly the way I pulled them out of the block. So, starting here, and moving our way all the way down as far as what penetrated how far. One thing I found interesting is that the mushroomed ones, like this guy here, and this guy right here, were at completely different depths, whereas you have perfect ones and the least penetrating right up in the middle, and all the way to the end. It's really not even all that bad. But I still think the coolest one is our 9mm right here. Focus. There it is. Look at that. It's meant to open up, slow down, penetrate, and stop, which is why law enforcement uses them. Pretty darn cool, if you ask me. So that's going to pretty much sum up our ballistics gel test today. I know the shooting part was the most fun part, but the science behind it's kind of cool too. Now what I'm going to do with this, as you see I had to take a bunch of chunks out of it, is I'm going to wash all the sand and particles off of it. I'm going to throw it back in the mold that came with it, and I'm going to put it in the oven and bake it at a certain temperature. It's going to melt on down and reform into the exact same block so we can do it all over again. I think next time we bring this guy out, I'm going to try doing a 40 Smith & Wesson versus 9mm comparison. Obviously finding exact bullet weights and stuff is going to be a little bit difficult, but basically I want to see how much better the 40 Smith & Wesson versus the 9mm is going to be at personal defense. I mean, I'm up here in Canada, so it doesn't mean anything to me because, well, we can't carry anything for personal defense as it is. You know, you shoot someone in your home and, well, you go to jail. Isn't it wonderful? That being said, it's still fun to know. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have, I think I'm going to do some gun reviews as well. Figure out some fun activities to do with that, and we'll see what happens going forward. Thanks for staying tuned, guys. I know this was a little bit of a different one, and I'm sorry if it was a little more boring, but I found it extremely interesting. So, throwing it out there, if you'd like to see more of this stuff, let me know. If you don't want to see this stuff, let me know that as well. Until the next time, I will see you guys later.